The Mindbuzz Podcast.
All right. Well, I jumped the gun on that one. But Rachel, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing well, and thanks for being here all the way from.
You pronounce it Vancouver?
Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, I feel like it's something like that. Vancouver. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
I just
okay.
lived here a long time.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I googled it, and the little speaker icon wasn't next to the word Vancouver, so I wasn't able to listen to the robot speak, so I wasn't too sure how to pronounce it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure as long as one person says something's true, it is. So you should probably listen to me.
Which I did, and now my guys in the back, and thanks camera crew and audio, I forgot one thing that we talked about at the beginning of this, and I'm gonna go ahead and play it, and we'll get started right after this.
I did wash my hands, but if you want to scrutinize what is and isn't done inside the bathroom, why don't we talk about the fact that you take off your pants and underwear and socks to poop? You can't win this argument with that rebuttal. It's common knowledge that it's absolutely disgusting to wear any garments south of the border when you're having a bowel movement. The fact that you would so flagrantly ignore that, it only reinforces that you are entirely unaware of even basic principles of hygiene. If you're so hygienic, why do I hear you struggling to get up on the sink after I hear the toilet flush? I bidet my bottom, and you don't see anything unhygienic or hypocritical about that? No. I'm not at all ashamed that I keep my sphincter cleansed. So when you wash your bottom in the sink, where do all the poop cells go? I'm no fool. The water is a scalding but safe 48 Celsius. This gives me an entire 5 minutes to wash without burning the first layer of my skin. And with water that hot, any contaminated cells will evaporate without compromising the sink. I rest my case.
Okay, so I'm gonna throw the links to the video in there. You're gonna get the full version on YouTube, right, Rachel? So I'll add the links to that if you like to listen to that and watch it. But we're gonna listen to the creator of Laurn Dakat for the next about an hour and a half. So Rachel,
Hey.
thanks for that. And a question I had was, do you cringe when you listen or watch your stuff? Not in a negative way. I mean,
no.
As a creator, some like I know a few painters, and they paint something that's really miraculous and beautiful, and they're just like, no, I don't like it. I don't like it.
Oh,
I don't like it.
There's like a whole range of cringing that happens. Like it's also like one thing where you do all the writing and you make it and you do the planning and then you film it. It's raw footage. It just doesn't quite fit. And then when I put it together, I'm like that's not me, is it? Like it's a little bit of a, like when the editing is good, it almost feels like an out of body experience because you're like that doesn't really seem like me. And then there's the part where I like send it out and I'm like, dear God, I'm not actually religious, but I definitely do a prayer because I'm like, please forgive me for I have sinned. I need to send this out into the world, but what the fuck? I'm allowed to swear.
Yeah, you can see all the fun ones.
Okay.
We're good.
Yeah.
Producers are nodding their head. They said that you're okay.
I'll keep my body language to myself.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I sometimes I talk like a sailor. It may not seem like it on this podcast, but it does happen. But great video. I love your videos. I started following you a few months back, and we finally found the courage to go ahead and book you. And thanks for agreeing to do this. And yeah, like I said, with your videos, they're hilarious, and it's the little subtleties that you add in, like with your voiceovers, with the actual acting that goes on inside the video, like just the sudden movements of your hands and your fingertips. Sounds completely weird, but
Yeah.
yeah, it
Like
sounds
a
weird.
very like multi-layered experience. Like I feel like it's all about the details for me, where it's
Uh-huh.
just like I want you to know what these people are thinking and like the way they see things, and yeah.
hmm No, you really illustrate that, at least with both of your characters. Do they have a name by any chance?
The characters?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Lauren is the uptight one in glasses,
Okay.
and Cindy is Lauren's partner. Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah,
Okay. So Lauren is the uptight one, and then Cindy is the fun
yeah.
one.
Like, yeah, well, she's kind of like crazy.
hmm
So it's they're kind of like pretty codependent. And actually, when I started, I had more characters, but I actually realized I really wanted to like hone in and focus on who they were. And there's something about writing and playing all the characters where it'd be too easy to have overlap. So I kind of cut it back and then really focused on them as people.
Oh, okay, I get you. No,
Yeah.
that totally makes sense because you can be more in depth
Hmm.
with those two characters as opposed to having 6, 7 characters, maybe 5, and just
Yeah.
having like a surface characteristics to them. So,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
How did you even like one day did you just wake up in the morning and say, "You know what? I think I'm going to start making, funny videos." Uh how
I
did
mean,
how did
yeah.
how did that happen? Or how did this
I feel
happen? How did you happen?
I feel like there always has to be like a psychology of what's happening in
Yeah.
here, because why would that happen?
Mhm.
Um yeah, like I feel like when the pandemic hit, it was kind of a catalyst of time. Like I feel like in ways I've been, I don't know how, but leading in this direction. But the pandemic was kind of like life got really quiet in a different way, and I was like, I really want to create, and I'd just started to learn about using a video editing program, and it slowly like became something, and it was just started with tinkering around, and like I never dreamed of showing it to anybody. But the more I made, the more like my partner's being super supportive. It was like, I think maybe you should like put this out for people to see. And I've been kind of obsessed with the process and like learning skills and more editing and learning to animate and building props and like all of it. So
Yeah, you have some really awesome skills. I mean, at least with animation. How long have you been doing this, by the way?
yeah, so I soft started a year and a half ago, but
Okay.
in earnest, it's only been a year.
Gotcha.
Um, and like everything I've learned has either been through like process learning or like getting stuck and then looking up YouTube videos on how the video editing program and stuff work. So I had no experience, just obsession.
And sometimes that's all you need,
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
right? Like your
Yeah.
obsession will turn it into a reality if you keep on, if you really think about it and you want to do it and you want to do it bad enough, it'll
Yeah.
happen. I mean,
Yeah.
if you got to put in the work, I mean,
Totally.
of course. But I remember there were nights where I would fall asleep to had a podcast
Oh,
on YouTube videos. Like it will just keep on showing and showing, and I'd be like half asleep watching it, just like, huh? Okay, and then writing like emailing myself notes of like, okay, I
yeah.
gotta do this. Okay, oh that's cool. All right, well I gotta do this. You know what I mean? Um, YouTube was definitely a resource
Totally.
for that. I mean, creatively speaking, but other than making your videos, what is there to do in Vancouver? And where is Vancouver, by the way, anyways?
So it's in BC. So
Okay.
I'm from Canada.
Okay.
Yeah. So it kind of depends what floats your boat. Most of my wildness comes out of my work, so I have a pretty like quiet life, and I like going into the woods. So watch out for creepy me in the woods. Yeah, and like I mean, COVID's changed pretty much everything, but we've had a good like scene for concerts and stuff like that. It just depends, can you afford to live in Vancouver and afford to do anything besides just live in your home? So
gotcha. So what is it like now? Like this moment, like what's Canada's procedures on the pandemic? I had a friend, Bobby Brunette from the Rock Guys podcast. He's in the center of Canada, and that was one question that I forgot to ask him, was how is everything going in Canada?
Yeah. I feel like I might have to leave my home to have a better idea. But yeah, it kind of depends where you are and like what you're doing. Like I've actually been really lucky in BC. Our healthcare system handled the pandemic quite well. So how it's impacted us being different. If you have a province called Alberta, and there's a lot going wrong there, with a whole lot of, well, do we really want to do anything about this? So it kind of depends on your perspective. Like, are you feeling caged and you want to like start screaming and rattling your cage? Then some people are, footloose and fancy free. Yeah, it just kind of depends. But they've had a restart, so lots more is open. There's vaccine passport for optional stuff like restaurants, and our numbers have stabilized, so which is good. We still have hospital beds in some of BC, so that's good. But it's high numbers. You wanted to know that part, right? Not just the fun stuff.
No, I needed to know all the fun stuff. We got that out of the way.
Yeah.
Now it's all the fun stuff. No, I mean none of this is fun. The only I don't want to say cool thing out of it, but I reached out to like a lot of artists and different podcasters and different creatives in different parts of media, and this pandemic that is still going on, but at the beginning they use that time to create, and I know this platform was born out of that also.
Yeah.
And it's hearing from you, it seemed like that was the same case with that, and it kind of pushed you to do something, right? I mean,
Totally.
totally. I mean,
yeah, it pushed me. Like, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, it keeps telling me, please refresh to continue to record. Oh, sorry about that. I don't really know what it wants me to reload. That seems like a problem.
Let's
Google,
see.
Sorry, Chrome says that
something went wrong. Okay, I think we're back. Are we back? Round two?
It seems fine. Yeah, let's.
Round two, guys. Should we start? No, just kidding. We're not gonna restart that over. What was the last time? What was the last thing we went over?
We were talking about how the pandemic kind of has like, sorry, wrong words, but birthed like a lot of creativity and just like projects that wouldn't otherwise be there.
It birthed.
Yeah.
Am I allowed? Can I curse while you're on here? Are you okay with that?
Oh, I'm a lady. I don't really cursing, bodily functions. None of that's comfortable for. No,
Okay.
it's fine. Totally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta be
No,
polite.
it's good.
I gotta ask. No, but if a pandemic fucked a brain of a creator, cool shit will come out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool
It's like
shit.
it's when there's a pandemic and you don't want to break your brain, what does your brain come up with? And for me, it was like really like hyper focusing into learning a new craft. You know, it sounds like with you and the podcasting too,
Hmm.
that going out on your own.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't do anything. I just get up here and talk. I have a whole crew that's in the back that does sound, that does the editing, the video and stuff. So it's just I just come up here and talk. It's mostly these guys at Mindbuzz Media that do all of it.
Oh.
I'm just the cute face and the great voice. I think that's
Yes.
what it is. So, but anyways, your YouTube videos they're just so funny. Like I was saying about the details, it's all in the details, and
Yeah.
there's just the first video that I seen was about I forgot what it was called, but it was the video where they were talking about I kind of want to just I gotta look for it actually. I'm gonna look for it.
Yeah.
I want you
Curious.
to see. No, I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find that fucking video. Honestly, when I listened to, okay, so I was just letting the stories play on Instagram, and I think it was like what caught me first was like I heard two voices, and I was like, what the heck is this? And I picked up my phone, I found it, and when I looked at it, your finger was like gently like gliding over like the front part of I think it was
Gift bag.
yes, okay. Yeah, you
Yeah.
you gotta
I know
imagine
exactly what
I
you're
picked up my phone, and all I seen was just just like great. It was just like brazing, just like
Yeah. Just like Cindy was trying to showcase, Lauren, this is like the perfect gift bag to fill with thoughtful gifts for me, and I just want to showcase the silhouette. Yeah.
oh my, yes. And I'm gonna find it. Let's see. Okay, because I'm on my personal. That's why. Okay, go ahead and give you a follow. I can. Okay, where is it? Okay. Gift bag. Mm-mm. Your page is awesome. It's
Thank you.
you have no idea how long I've been I'm fangirling
Awesome.
right now.
Yep.
This is a first. I don't really fanboy, but where would I find it at actually? You
Okay,
have
because
so
it's
much
kind of
stuff
like
on here.
mixed in.
Is it?
Let me take a little looky loo.
Okay. Because I'm on your page.
Oh, it's in Reels.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and actually I used it as the front cover of one of the Reels.
Okay.
Just like a 30-second clip.
Is it
It's the 9th down.
it's the what?
It's 9th down under Reels.
Fuck is she wearing?
The 9th one?
I think so. It's I mean for mine it shows the gift bag.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, no.
I understand the thing. Good. And I'm willing to make an effort too. And I have a little something that I think will inspire you on your Valentine's Day journey. Isn't this the prettiest bag you've ever laid eyes on? I put a lot of effort in just knowing how this bag would woo you. And don't even
Right
think
there.
about feeling bad
That's
about
where
it.
I picked up my
I just
phone
knew that it would
at that
inspire
moment.
you when you're on the hunt for thoughtful and interesting Valentine's Day
Okay. That's where it was. I'm gonna put that link so everybody can
Oh my
see
God,
it,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
and while they're listening, so they can pick it up at the most inappropriate part of the video. No, it's
There's also something special about the like deep, meaningful music. Oh,
yeah, and
oh my God.
it just tie all that. It's the dialogue, your detail of your placing your character's hands, and just the extra facial movements that you
Yeah.
add in there. And to top it all off with that deep, very heartwarming music um that you got going on. And
Thank
no,
you to song Run from I forget the I'm just bad with names, but yeah, I feel like it topped it off nicely.
that's funny.
Yeah.
You I need to ask you, and maybe you can tell me no,
Mhm.
but are you able to go through your creative process with me? Is that a is that
Sure, yeah.
a okay?
I can try that one.
Yeah.
It's not something like I realize the creative process is so introverted. Like I realize that people who put their stuff out there, it seems like they're extroverts, but especially doing multiple characters alone, like I shoot alone, I write alone, I edit alone, like so it's kind of new to be able to like talk about this stuff. But yeah, like I think that I often will just keep writing ideas down. Like the thing you said about like just taking notes, writing emails to yourself. Like I do a lot of that and I realize like a lot of ideas don't stick necessarily, but I keep building it up and put it
Oh
in the
yeah.
melting pot.
Yeah.
Um
I wanna
yeah.
let me add to that of what you just
Mhm.
said. Uh, I read. Let's see. Was it? No, it was Bird by Bird by Is it Elizabeth Gilbert? No, it's probably a different author. I'm terrible
Mhm.
at this, but it's Bird by Bird.
Yeah, me
No,
too.
Anne Lamott. Anne Lamott. There we
Okay.
go. Bird by Bird, Anne Lamott. But she has this concept in there. She's an English teacher, and she's also a writer. And she has this concept in there called kill your darlings. And that's probably yeah, right? Kill the
What
babies.
is that? What is yeah. Well, I never thought of babies as my darlings, but that says a lot about you. I'm just kidding.
Kill the puppies. No.
Oh
Terrible.
yeah.
Don't no,
Just birds. I
ki
feel
um and also in like in some comedy writing too, you might think that this is the coolest idea, the greatest idea in the world, but
Yeah.
when you go back and try to work at it and it just doesn't work out, and there's no angles that you can create something out of, you necessarily don't have to you know continue with it. You can just scrap it. So I think that's what she was
Mhm.
talking about. Kill your darlings.
Yeah.
You might think one particular topic or discussion or whatever, in your case scenes, right?
Mhm.
But I just wanted to add to that because that kind of tied into what in your process. Some of them
To-
may work, and some
totally.
of them will be your best projects.
Totally. And some of them just wait for later. Like I think it's the practice of like thinking about things. Like I've had conversations with people be like, "Oh, you make videos, like you should do this." But it's like it, the more I make videos, the more I realize how
Uh,
many layers of steps there are and that like there's also like I have so many crazy ideas, but it's like, can I shoot that? Can I edit that? Can I like so it's kind of like how do I make that work? And so I feel like the darlings that I kill um, is also part of like just like learning to drop things and just like let it sit there for later or maybe even just like coming up with a bit of an idea is part of like exercising your brain in that creative way.
that totally makes sense.
Mhm.
Uh, so there is a kind of method to I guess creation, but it like you were saying, like it takes work. You have to work at it, and
Totally.
you're defining what will work and will not work.
Yeah, totally. And like even just sometimes there's an idea that just has enough of like I feel like one of the things I love doing in Laurn Dakat, although I want like character development and whatnot, is like, you know, Lauren has a habit of like fading out concentration, like little the ADD probably, and the like daydream, right? And like,
Yeah,
a lot of us don't daydream the way Lauren does, but wouldn't it be fun if we could, right? Like,
yeah,
and I feel like sometimes that's where the idea starts. Like, there's a koi fish episode I made, and like, it started with this idea of Lauren having this fantasy about fish, which sounds crazy, but somehow I like it sewed it together, and I don't
uh-huh,
know where that came from. Whereas I had another idea that like sounds very much like, oh yeah, that would make an episode, and it just hasn't come together yet. So
gotcha.
yeah.
Gotcha. Do you have to be in the mood to make videos, or is it just something that you can pick up any time of the day and just go full force?
I have to be in the mood. Like I think that as far as like jotting down ideas, anytime is
Oh
fine.
yeah.
Um, Editing for the most part, like sometimes I get challenges where I really have to work at it or step away from a project. But the dialogue is have to be like conditions have to be perfect. And for some reason, at night I can hear their voices inside
Yes.
my head, like taking over my
Yes.
brain. And so like it'll start coming and like I'm like to my partner, leave me alone. Like I need to write. Like because it's one of those things too where it's like I was thinking about how sorry, I'm gonna digress, but
Mhm.
like people are afraid that like if you get the vaccine, that people are gonna like control your mind and stuff. But I
I love it.
decided that if they controlled my mind, what I
Uh-huh.
want them to do is jot down my thoughts
You
as
wait, hold
quickly
on.
as I
You
think
you
them.
you hold on. You come with warning labels when you get vaccinated. They
Yeah.
have to sign a consent form to control you, right? So you get a
Well,
vaccine,
and
and yeah,
which would normally be scary,
yeah.
but like the creative process is so hard. Like I'll like literally be like just finishing something and I'll go to write it down. I'm like, ah, I lost the wording. Like I just
Mm.
didn't have it. And that sounds like it doesn't matter as much as it actually does. So I just hope that whoever wants to control me, that they could take some notes and control me in just the right ways. Like I will give up all of myself as long as they help me create because it would just be a lot more efficient and I spend a lot of time like just I see you looking uncomfortable. This is not an uncomfortable conversation, is it? This feels like
Uh,
totally normal, right?
we have a lot of uncomfortable conversations here on the show, so this is
Oh
a
yes.
first for me.
I
Um,
just want to disclose
I
oh sorry.
no, I feel like I have to sign a waiver
Yeah.
now after this
Uh-huh.
show, but no, I'm just joking. No, it's fine. No, but good thing that you said all that because I do have FBI agents listening in. They come in and out, but it's fine. Uh,
Okay, yeah. They're friendly, right?
they're good. I don't know. They're
Okay.
American. They're not
Oh.
Canadian. So
Are you American?
yeah,
Oh shoot. This I gotta go.
the CIA is listening in also.
Uh,
Wait, do you guys have like
okay.
something like that in Canada? I have to ask.
Well, we do, but we have a strong sense of denial. So, what we like to do in Canada is focus on the problems in America.
What we like to do in
So,
Canada. That sounds like a book.
yeah, I
Bobby
will write it.
Bobby Bobby Brunette, hold on, you're listening. Get started on that, please.
Yeah,
Uh no.
there's nothing written inside
Hmm.
because it's supposed to make you paranoid, right? Was that invisible ink? What would have they said? Should I know these things? So, yeah.
Gotcha.
Oh, but creative process wise, mood for writing definitely is yeah, like it's tricky. And the other thing I've learned is I used to do a lot of script writing and it wasn't until I actually say the stuff out loud I realize how wrong or right it is. So I also have to be in the mood to sit there tinkering to myself typing and like muttering the voices because I also realize there's certain words and language that one uses the other one doesn't use or it sounds unnatural. So which usually also means that like I don't want my partner to hear me because I can be Lord all day. Like, yeah, so.
So I love that I'm a night owl as well. A lot of my creative ness happens whether if it's graphic design, I'm putting together some audio for another podcast that I'm working on, which is strictly there's no video, there's no conversation. It's more just a whole bunch of clips of different characters um,
Cool.
that we're working on, and there's other podcasters involved in that too. So a lot of that stuff that I do it at night, and I'm constantly writing and emailing stuff. And in your case, it shows because there's so much detail and just I guess different tones with your characters that I pick up on, and it makes for great clips. It really does.
Yeah, thank you. I just like it's all about the details for me. Like I realized when I started making videos, I was like, I mean, maybe if I was like raking it in, I would like just be a character online, but I realized like what I thrive on is the product. Like I want to make things that have all of the production layers. Obviously, I'm doing it at home and I don't have like the greatest equipment, and I've been working on my quality controls a lot and also like learning so much as far as like as I'm sure like well maybe not you but the people editing for you, like it's so
Mhm.
crazy how much mistakes we make just because we don't know. And the other side of YouTube is that sometimes there's a lot of bad advice out there where they're like, if you have this setting, then if your light buzzes, it's no big deal. Just
Yeah.
turn the voice processing on. And yeah, like hours and hours of editing later. But
That's one thing that nobody really talks about. YouTube is the greatest thing, and it's the greatest invention besides sliced bread. But
yeah.
there are some bad. You're absolutely right. There's some bad advice, and there's also good advice coming from different video creators with lower quality YouTube videos. What I'm saying is like
Yeah.
like have you heard of Matthew Santero? Santero? He's Canadian too. A lot of YouTubers
Oh,
I watch are Canadians. That's weird.
interesting.
Okay, interesting. Yeah. But Matthew Santaro? I don't know, but his older videos hit the I mean the video was great. The video was but I'm an audio person, so when I listened to his audio, like that he had, like in his early years, I was just like, whoa, there's a difference, and there's stuff that you pick up when you're learning, like yourself with videos. I'm pretty sure that now you know all the details and ins and outs of video creation. Do you sometimes watch videos and be like, I would have done this a little bit differently. I would have done the lighting here. Do you ever find that?
Yeah, I think that like I want to edit things. Like I want them to move more quickly, or like I'm like, oh, if they did this shot, like that more so. I still feel like I'm just starting to get my groove with my video quality, and my audio has been a nightmare. But I'm working on it. As you were saying that you're like you're more of an audio guy, I'm like, well, sometimes there's music or sound in the background because I edited the crap out of it, and the audio just like it
Yeah.
just wasn't right. So but yeah, I definitely find that there's just things I would change. But that said, like for some reason, I feel like I'm critical of my stuff more than I would be for anyone else. Like I feel genuinely excited about other people's crafts.
Yeah.
Um, but at the same time, I also would love to like edit away at people's stuff because yeah, the editing process tickles my fancy.
Yeah. No,
I don't know what that is.
it's funny you say that because the first couple of and I probably said this in the in any recent episodes. My first couple of episodes that we did, I had and that's my phone. leave me alone, MLB. Dodgers aren't going to the playoffs. World Series, 2021. No. Besides that, I had the first couple of episodes that we did. I left the AC on,
Yeah.
and we were working on extracting the AC sound from the audio, and it kind of like it did these weird little things to my voice and Andy's voice at the time, and just like little things that I mean, of course, like there's a car right now that you can hear.
I can't actually, but
No, but just stuff like that you learn along the way. Is there anything that you would have liked to know before jumping into any of this?
I wish that I knew the company that sold me my green screen lighting kit. They have these LED lights that dim, which is so fantastic. And it's like a really low decibel buzzing that you don't really hear, but the mic picks up.
Oh, okay.
I wish I knew because I tried so many other things first, and like YouTube told me that I needed to have a different setting, and the tricky thing
Yeah.
about audio is so there's like the buzzing which the mic picks up consistently in a weird way that's much louder than we hear. And then our voices go up and down, and as you were saying with the AC, it's like when you start scrubbing it, then your
Yeah.
voice sounds like crap. So it's not like one of those things where you can just like take a 5-minute clip and just like scrub it out. It's like
Yeah.
each time when the voice is higher, you have to do this scrub and cut it
Yeah.
up into little pieces. And oh dear God, I wish I did so many things differently. That actually happened on my last episode. I tried the last setting and I'm like, damn it, I'm just buying
Uh-huh.
different light bulbs and calling it a day, and
Uh-huh.
I will never do this again. So
How many? Yeah, I'm gonna go back to your green screen because there's
mhm,
there's tons of stuff that I want to ask you about. But uh, at least microphone placement I want to go over.
mhm,
Uh, a few a few months ago, before actually moving the space into where I am now, the
mhm.
mic was like next to the router for the Wi-Fi and the internet connection, and next to that router was it was an electrical box that was on the other side of the wall. So
Yeah.
the placement of the mic was like really close to the electrical box, and it was just making this humming noise, and I was just like, why is it humming? And then I was playing with the mic, and I was just like, oh, okay, I can't hear it over there, but as soon as I move it over here, oh, like it's buzzing. And I'm telling you, it took us like 20 different placements of moving the mics and moving furniture and getting up the soundboards up and stuff. So it does take a
Mhm.
lot of work. I mean, I think that's some stuff that um I guess we can call them normies. No, no, different people that uh, do not have a craft in media, whether it be video, audio. It takes a lot of work, and it takes a lot of. It sucks to say, but it does happen, and we can learn from failures.
Totally. It's also like that problem solving where if it was obvious, I would have just done it. And,
Yeah,
for example, I have one problem like, okay, I'll get a shotgun mic, or I bought a plug-in that helps scrub the buzzing or whatever, like not even realizing because the lights, like I couldn't barely hear it. And like you said with the electrical box, it's strange how
you don't even
the
think of
mic
that.
picks up.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like and also too, like so many people are online like, "Oh yeah, no problem. This will fix it." And the tricky thing for me with my work is like there's so much prep work, and sometimes I'm like deep into a project when I realize, "Oh shoot, like so much is damaged." And I work on projects for a really long time. Like I'm definitely it's a very labor intensive form of craft I'm doing. Um so I just like realized like it's just sometimes there's like a long layover with fixing each problem because there's a long layover from beginning to end of posting videos.
And okay, your green screen. I
Mhm.
was gonna do the whole green screen thing. I'm telling you, we tried so many different avenues. At least for video, it's hard. It's
Yeah,
definitely hard
yeah,
to get in front of a camera, let alone but get in front of a camera and make it look decent. And I
totally.
not even like cool or anything like that. Just decent and palatable, right?
Yeah, like
And
how do I make this not horrible?
exactly, I that's the goal. I wake up every morning. That is written on my wall before I leave and go out
Yeah.
to the world of my day. Is how do I ha how do I live my life less miserable than
Yeah.
I?
How can today be less terrible?
Exactly. You have to ask. You have to
Yeah.
ask that and capitalize on what you
Hmm.
do. Uh,
Yeah.
but back to okay, so back to your two voices. How did they? How did you create them? Is it something that just like what came first, the chicken or the egg? Uh, was it the storyline that you were thinking about, or did you already have these characters in mind that you wanted to
So
wanted them to come to life?
I think that like Lorne was not a character, um, but if I was ever having a bad day, I would flip my hair over and put on a unibrow and then chase my partner around our apartment and try to make them kiss me. Um,
Uh-huh.
so like I don't know why that's where it started. And then in the like 6 months of learning how to make videos, I think I would shoot and it wasn't like I didn't understand the writing process and whatever. So it was very like experimental and almost like making a collage with video. And I made this like it was a huge project, but like 30-minute video, which is now not public on YouTube because my quality of work's gone up a lot. But Lauren kind of took hold at first, and like I feel like, I mean, I think that Lauren probably perturbs some people, but I also think that like Lauren can kind of grow on a person. Like there's something about not giving a fuck and like being that anxious of a personality yet so secure in yourself. I would love to be like that. I would love
Uh-huh.
to like say things and like not worry about what people think of me. So I feel like Lauren kind of came out of, I don't know, just like I don't know, like, I look at Lauren and I'm like, "Where did you come from? Like, you don't make any
Uh-huh.
sense. I don't know you." Like my bastard child. But then I also kind of love Lauren, and my affection is growing more deep by the day.
So it's not it I don't, so it's nothing that you created. It's just something that just came out.
Yeah. Like, maybe Lauren was buried inside here somewhere. I don't know. It's so weird. Like, I should know that, right? But I feel like, I mean,
No.
if we as humans have like a lot of habits we're like not aware of, then like Lauren Dakat can kind of come out of nowhere,
Mhm.
I guess. Cindy was definitely a lot more thoughtfully created because I did not know what to do with that.
Gotcha. So
Yeah.
Cindy definitely written and Lauren just came out of fucking left field pretty much.
Yeah.
Got
Like
dropped.
maybe Lauren is my alter ego. Like, how embarrassing. But Lauren's not embarrassed, so it's
No.
probably fine.
No. I
Yeah.
recently seen a photo on Instagram. Like it had like four boxes. I even reposted it on Instagram, but it has there's like four boxes and it was like a person writing and this like entity person shape figure looking thing was red and it looked like it was at a desk and it was writing and the first uh the first box in the picture, the person was writing, and it was like completely red. and the second box, like it was like depleting. The redness was depleting, going through his hands and his fingertips, and ultimately it was going to the pen, and then all the redness like kind of went straight to the paper. And like when I seen that, I was just like, whoa, like that's very interesting.
Oh, like it's like their whole self like melted into what they were creating.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
Yeah, and
yeah, that
I
makes
mean,
sense.
I see your perspective on me saying that, but what I thought was just like maybe on a emotional standpoint, to where if you're and I'm a very I don't push this a lot, but when I'm feeling type of way, either happy, not happy, and any type of that kind of feeling, any type of emotion, I like to write, like whether it be good or bad, whether I'm upset or not upset, if I'm in a good mood. I just putting everything on paper. It seems, it feels so good just to throw a lot of stuff on paper. That and I have to retract a little bit, because now I'm going back, and I gotta say this is that had nothing to do or had nothing to tie into what you just said, but I felt like I had to say it.
I just like went down the tunnel and I enjoyed it, and then I was thinking about I was thinking earlier that like I did my best poetry writing when I was my most miserable, and it was so cathartic. And so when you
Gotcha.
described that, I saw that side of it too, which is
Uh-huh.
just like, I don't know. I enjoyed the rabbit hole. Thank you.
Okay. Well, yeah, we didn't go too far.
No.
It was a foxhole, a rabbit hole. I don't know the difference.
Groundhog?
Mm,
Did they go far? I don't know. I should study up. That's going to be my next set of facts I learn about. I like to learn facts as
Okay.
LaurnDakat. Like I realize that I can't just be LaurnDakat anytime, because LaurnDakat knows a lot of things I don't know, and LaurnDakat has a good memory, and I don't have a good memory. So, but I feel like LaurnDakat would probably enjoy that.
So Dakat is the last name that you've given to this character?
Yeah. So 13 years ago, I was on social media for about 6 months.
Should we cue the classical music?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead. You guys got that?
13 years. So
All right, go.
the backstory is
Just
the
listen.
backstory is
Uh-huh.
what are we doing? So I've only been on social media for essentially a year. I was one of those weird people that wasn't on it for years. But 13 years ago, I was on it. And I made an alter ego, which was Charles Dakat, which is my cat. And I made him a last name where there was a lot of cutout heads of him doing special things with other people. So somehow that last name just stuck with me like marriage. I don't know what. This doesn't really
13
make
years
sense,
ago,
but
though.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
you needed to know the origins. It
Yeah.
feels more meaningful.
The origins.
Yeah.
I want to see like a 2-hour origin film of Laurn Dakat,
Oh
from
my
like
God.
birth to where they are at now.
I actually have thought of this where Rachel, the creator of Laurn Dakat, creates a video where it's kind of about like how I think that I'm not crazy, but I probably am crazy, and that these characters start sneaking up on me as like a way of coping, right?
Gotcha.
So like I first saw Laurn Dakat when the kids were making fun of me in elementary school, and I don't know, there's something there.
That's kind
gonna
of
be
like
tragic.
yeah. Life's a tragedy. No,
It is, it's true.
no, that brings me to Fight Club. And
Yeah.
just have you seen that movie?
I have. It's one of the movies I actually remember.
I can't.
Sorry, I
Lauren
have a really bad
remembers.
memory. Yeah.
No, I just recently seen it like 2 months ago, and
Okay.
I watched it every night for like about a week. Like I was super obsessed with it. Yes, and then Okay, so I watched it one time, and I ended up reading a book about 2 days later called Supermarket by Logic with Bobby Hall. He's a rapper here in the States, and he writes it, and I I read his book before I actually found out that he was a rapper, and that book had so many like ties and signals along, I guess, of how Fight Club was written, but it had
Oh.
like the same pretty much concepts and the same ending. I think the reason why I ended up watching Fight Club, um, I kept on watching it over and over again, was because I wanted to see like the similarities that that book had
Oh.
with that film, and even in an interview that Bobby Hall had with I don't know, some magazine or some newspaper, he was inspired by Fight Club, but then a lot of critics said, even they even wrote that, he was like a huge Supermarket, Bobby Hall book, total ripoff of Fight Club. Well, at least the ending, and that's a spoiler alert. Fuck. But anyways, it's a
Oh,
great book.
I barely remember the movie. I know that there's only one rule in Fight Club, though,
Oh
so
yeah.
there is none.
I'm glad that you can remember that.
Yeah, because it's like maybe that is me and Laurn Dakat because it's all rules based, right?
Yes. Okay, so
I don't know.
history lesson or history question about Canada. I asked Bobby this, my friend from Canada. He gave a horrible answer. So hopefully
Okay.
you have a better answer. Do you know? I don't know. I don't know this. I haven't Googled it yet, which I probably will. But I want to get your take on this first. Why does the Canadian flag have a
Oh,
maple
I
leaf?
heard you ask that. Oh, sorry. I remember on your podcast, and I was like, I should have studied up. I don't know the answer, except for I might know, which is my way
You
of saying that I
you
think there was
don't, but
something
you don't.
about.
Oh, okay.
I feel like there's something about when the colonizers came to Canada. It was during the fall, and they saw the leaves, and
Mm.
that resonated somehow. Like I feel like there's something about that, or deciduous trees are beautiful is probably a simple way of saying it.
Okay, so say that again. The what?
So deciduous trees are the ones that like, oh yeah, because you're in California, right? So yeah. Anyways, the trees that when it gets cold, they
Yeah, we
drop
don't
their
have
leaves
trees
and the.
here.
Oh, I know. You only have like the things that have pokes, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
coniferous
Coniferous.
trees in only in December, and you can get them at your local neighborhood market and Walmart.
We have those
Have them.
too. We
Uh,
have markets where you can buy plants.
maple
We
leaf.
have a lot in common. Yeah.
We
But
have places here in California that you can buy plants, but when you smoke those plants, you see all these crazy stuff, and then after you have this really cool out of body crazy experience, you get hungry, and you eat
yeah.
Cheetos and nachos and stuff.
Yeah.
So uh,
We have those plants here too.
actually, another thing that I forgot forgot to ask, what's the cannabis thing? Like what's the local laws, at least in your part of Canada? Like
So
what's the
it's
status is what I'm
legal.
asking.
Legal everywhere. All across Canada, federally, provincially.
What?
You
Wait,
can
hold
you can
on.
get yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah. The liberal government were like, okay, we're gonna do this. So
Uh-huh.
it's true.
Really? So it's
And also
federally.
like,
Okay.
yeah, because the states has like different states have different rules, but then
Stupid.
federally it's not okay.
It's dumb.
I mean, we still can't take it across the border, but
Yeah, of
that's
course.
fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll do it anyway. No, um, yeah, it's federally illegal, but certain some states only allow it, and it goes more in depth with that too, because some states can have it, recreational legal or medically legal,
Yeah.
and some have both. Some have both medical and recreational, depending on like your status and your doctor recommendations and how old you are, and if you're 18 or 21. I think they just moved it up to 21 years old.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
yeah, at least with you have to be 21 or older with a doctor's recommendation. That's medically, but recreationally, I
Oh,
think
okay.
you can be like 21 and over. But you
So
don't have to
both.
worry about that. That's all. That's all
No.
over here. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, it never really felt like a big deal in Vancouver. Like,
mhm.
I mean, except for when I was a teenager and like the paranoia hit me. It's been fine for a long time. That said, like I know a lot of people have had charges that are kind of messed up. It actually made it harder to get pot for a while. Um, yeah, like just because you had to get it through legal sources, and
Mm,
then some of the shops, because we had pot shops before, I
mhm.
guess medical. But yeah, it was more tricky for a little while. But yeah, you can shop online.
Oh yeah. We have those
Yeah.
too. I
Oh, okay.
I do all my shopping online.
Yeah.
During the holidays. Uh,
Nice little
and
bow.
and peak times. Uh,
Yeah.
it's easier just to go on your local website and do that
Hmm.
for delivery. Um,
Awesome.
yeah, I just think of uh all the ideas that people can do, just being uh federally
Yeah.
legal. Now Seattle is one of now going we're on the Mindbuzz here, so we're gonna go from pot to psychedelics, and I want to
Hmm.
make another announcement. Seattle in the U.S., Washington is one of the biggest cities to actually decriminalize psilocybin, which is the psychedelic component in
Hmm.
psilocybe mushrooms, magic mushrooms, to put the air quotes on there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just recently read this the other day too, and I was like, whoa, this thing, it's gaining a lot of momentum just within the past couple of months, at least within the psychedelic community, and um, it's that's awesome. Like, do you know the status of psychedelics in Canada?
I I'm not
I can
entirely
Google all this, but
sure.
I have
Yeah,
Rachel from
no, I
Laurn
mean,
Dakat on here, and
yeah, well, I
I
mean,
gotta
I
get her.
could give you my like what I should do is I should not know, but sound like I know, and then
Okay,
you can tell other people and it'll make it truth.
I love it.
I'm not totally sure. I do know that like in my local area they're using it for therapy. You can do I mean, there's like a protocol, but like
Of course, yeah.
psilocybin and also like MDMA therapy because they've
So
had a lot of people.
So I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure it's decriminalized then. If they're using it for different forms of therapy, it should be decriminalized then. Okay.
I think so, like, there was a bunch of studies, but I don't know, like, sometimes also too, there's a bit of fringe where
Uh-huh.
it's not necessarily allowed, but like, for example, safe injection sites. We have them down here,
Wait, what?
so,
What are
like
those?
so in Vancouver, we have, like, essentially an opiate crisis, and
Okay.
so years ago, um, it started with this place called Insight, but they worked hard to get a safe injection site. That way people can, as a harm reduction model, like, clean needles, and also if people OD, you can address it on the spot, which is actually, like, as far as health costs and, social, um, harm reduction, like, is really helpful. But originally, like, they kept getting shut down, and then it got to a point where it was okay, but the what people bring in is still illegal. So there's like a lot of things where it's not technically allowed, but it's overlooked, or there's just a lot of layers to our laws. But I'm pretty sure it just got decriminalized because we have like a terrible opiate crisis happening, and like hundreds of people a month are dying.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
Wow.
bad.
No, that's
Yeah.
but I mean, it looks like that they're going in. I mean, at least it seems like, uh, you know, that type of government is spearheading it in a different way, other than just making everything legal and
Hmm.
inaccessible, or making it so inaccessible that you criminalize somebody that is trying to get help, or
Totally.
has a physical addiction
Hmm.
to a certain drug, and
Totally.
um, it that's crazy. I've never heard anything about that, about the opiate crisis. And is this something that's fairly new, or just something that has been going on for some time?
Uh, it's been going on for a long time. Like, I mean, part of like the prohibition of drugs is also then like
Hmm.
the fentanyl crisis because it's so small.
Yeah.
It's also very, very difficult to get your quantities right. Also, too, if someone gets a better, as long as they don't OD, they get a better buzz, they're more likely to want to buy from that person again. Like, there's a lot of intricate details, and the crisis is being getting a lot worse, especially since COVID, because a lot more people are using quietly at home. And they apparently there was, I don't really know how it works, but there's some people who've been approved for safe supply. So some select few are able to kind of access what they need as far as drugs, but also too, like, if you're gonna do some or like
Yeah.
have some like uppity drugs, you don't necessarily expect there to be fentanyl in it too. But yeah, it's bad. It's super bad. Yeah,
Whoa. Yeah,
yeah.
I've never done fentanyl. No. Um, that is something recent, right? I mean, I don't know. Quote me if I'm wrong. But anybody that can quote me if I'm wrong. I mean, uh, the first time that I actually heard of that drug was not about, maybe about like 2 years ago. It killed I guess one rapper overdosed on it a few years ago. I think it was what, Mac Miller that
Yeah.
that OD'd on it. I mean, I don't know. That was just crazy. I don't know.
Yeah.
Uh, to even, well, with ecstasy, they cut that drug with a lot of different drugs, like the
Yeah.
base of it,
Yeah.
and back in the other days of Gill, there's heroin based ecstasy, and there's like cocaine based ecstasy. It was
Yeah.
really weird because it was like the same amount of experience, but just with a different come down. Which, if
Totally.
that, I mean, I don't know. So I've heard. Not.
Yeah. Me
I'm
too.
coming out of
Yeah.
experience, not experience. But so I've heard the stories.
Vicarious experience.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I Googled a lot of this stuff, and a lot of it I heard all the bad advice on YouTube, and
Hmm.
none of it was good. But the
You've
Maple
seen
Leaf,
Train Spotting.
yeah, exact. Oh shit, I forgot about that movie. Oh my gosh, when that baby was crawling on the ceiling.
I
No,
know.
gosh.
Yeah.
Can you do some like animation skills to where like Lauren is crawling on the ceiling?
I feel
Wait, hold
like
on.
something's gonna happen like that. There's just like there's so many things I want to do, and actually I realize like there's the part of me where like I'll start with an idea and then I'll
Uh-huh.
creatively build it, and then
Yeah.
there's the realist because I know all of the layers of editing and filming and all of that who will like pare it down. But I just I don't know. I feel like there's some. I don't know. Like I feel like my stuff's serious, creepy, and funny at the same time.
It's a collage of
Yeah.
different emotions.
Yeah, totally.
And it's I don't know how to explain it. It's just it's awkward. It makes you feel uncomfortable, but it's just it's so light and it feels like I'm coming home in autumn, or the summer. I mean, depending
Yeah.
on when I seen Laurn and his hairy legs getting on top of the which is funny, by the way, because I just thought of that when I was watching that film. I was like, oh my gosh, I wonder how long it took Rachel to wash all that ink off of
Oh,
her legs.
I actually made nylons with hair. So I did the
Oh,
markers and then I did the three tones. So they're
wow.
not as good
Okay.
as they could be. But then I had to try to not marker my legs, but some of it got through. So I had a couple weeks of fake hair marks all over my legs.
Gotcha.
Um yeah, because
You're
I'm
just
gonna
like casually walking, and somebody's just staring at you. You're like, it's been a long quarantine. Okay.
totally.
Yeah.
I challenged myself to see how long my leg hair could get.
uh okay, so it's just you in your how I mean, I have a very supportive group within the independent podcasters, and even my partner is super supportive. Um how important is a support group with what you're doing?
I think it's super important. I don't really I'm just starting to build community. I think that's the unfortunate byproduct of not using social media until a year ago.
Yeah.
So there's the external people, which is actually kind of neat. And also you learn the ropes, right? Because there's some phony and then there's some wonderful celebrating each other stuff too. So and then as far as community, my partner's so supportive, which is just wonderful because it takes a lot of time. And also there's times where I'm discussing things what do you think about, I mean, even just I was I'm gonna do a podcast for the first time. What do you think I'll get asked? And then putting him through the paces of me being I don't know what to say to that. So yeah, community is important. And my siblings oddly figured out that I was funny once I started making
Oh, okay.
videos. I literally heard from my brothers who found my stuff and was I didn't know you were so funny. You've always been funny and I never knew it. I was just thanks.
I
That was the biggest compliment.
I knew you my whole life, and I had no clue that you had a. Oh my gosh, that's
Which is weird because I mean, I'm pretty sure other people knew I was funny, but there's something special about the sibling bond.
Where do you get your inspiration from?
Um
I kind of just flung that out there.
oh yeah, totally. So some of it is just I catch myself in a moment and I think of something I actually realized I love the nuances of what we're like as people when we don't think anyone's watching or the things we don't want to tell each other. So some of that inspires me. I've had times where I show a video and my partner's "Oh, am I Lauren?" I'm "No, don't worry." But I do think
Oh,
there are
okay.
little bits and pieces that are
Uh-huh.
inspired either from life or it's a contrast. I grew up with living with my dad and three brothers, and I think that there's these there's something different about growing up with the dudes. And I think there's little bits I was inspired by that, or very well understanding that in stereotypical masculinity, you should not cling like Cindy does, but for some reason the contrast has inspired me. Or I don't know, there's just little bits and pieces from everywhere in life, either directly or indirectly.
That's probably one of the best answers that I've ever heard
I
on
win.
this episode.
Wow.
On this episode and podcast.
Wow.
No, honestly.
That's wow, that's
You're
okay, cool.
I honestly, I would love to be like a fly on the wall or whatever you guys have in Canada. and just to watch your writing process. Honestly,
Yeah.
I would, but the animation part is very, very, it's tricky. I tried to dabble in animation at the beginning of this year, and it was a lot. It was a lot to learn. It's very tedious, and if you really, I'm pretty sure if I really would have worked at it a little bit more, then I would have I kind of got the hang of it. I didn't totally quit, everybody, but more on that in the next couple months. No, but I got sidetracked. But it takes a lot of work, and it takes a lot of tenacity, and
Yeah.
it fits really well in your videos, like just everything. And I'm gonna take a couple of minutes here and just I guess praise your work, because I enjoy it so much. We played that video at the top of this podcast, the first video that I've ever seen from you, which you're gonna get the link down in the show description. But just everything from video quality, your sound, to animation, to your dialogue, the writing that goes into it, all the detail that you have with Cindy and Laurn. It's just it's great, and I think you should just keep doing it and keep doing it. And what's your goal? What's the next thing for you in the next couple of months? Do you have any goals in place that you want to reach, or anything like that?
I mean, I think I have goals, which is to always be creating. And sometimes it's working on different aspects of each project. It's really tricky because I realized that what I'm making is very labor intensive. And so I'm focused on the product. So I realized that I don't have a lot of visibility. So anyone listening, like, sorry. Oh my God, I just forgot what social media was. Instagram.
So did Instagram and Facebook the other day.
Yeah.
They forgot
totally.
they forgot they were a thing. They left their keys at home. They're on their way to work, and everything got shut down. That was crazy.
Yeah,
I didn't even know that. Hold on. Can we settle right there for a little bit? I had no idea that Facebook and Instagram shut down for like 8 hours or something like that, right? Wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean,
my feed told me my internet wasn't working, and if I can't get through it at a certain time of day, I kind of need to go move on as far as my tasks. So I was like, oh, that's so weird. I swear the internet's working. I'm looking at my email right now. But yeah, and then hearing that it was like there was a lot more to it. It's kind of like they were naughty, and it's like that, like, terrible partner that does something awful to their other partner, and then their way of dealing with it is to punish their partners. I feel like that's like Facebook and Instagram's way of coping, lash out.
Yeah. Well, I don't. It was just really strange. Everything was just totally strange, at least from my perspective, because at first I wasn't really like in the midst of everything. I was focused in on work and doing other life stuff. That I came back and I was watching all these. I seen all these memes on Instagram and Facebook about Instagram and Facebook not working, and people were doing whatever with their time without Instagram, whatever have you. But no, it was pretty funny, and then I was just like, whoa, like what was happening? And then I asked my partner, and she was like, yeah, you didn't know that Instagram and Facebook, they were down for like a few hours. And I was like, whoa, I had no clue. And we experienced so much thunder and lightning yesterday. It started raining, and yeah, it was just everything. Like that whole yesterday was just odd. And my time that I spent on the road in California, and of course I hit LA traffic and there's another car again, in LA traffic, and I'm telling you, for like about an hour, there was thunder and lightning. I was on the highway, and that's all I was watching. And
Yeah.
and there was this one point when I was driving on the highway, and I was just looking straight ahead, and it looked like I was just like on a spaceship driving up a hill, and there was so much lightning and thunder. It looked like Armageddon or something. It was crazy. And then I got home, and my Wi-Fi was out, which was kind of weird. Which I went to sleep with no Wi-Fi, and it was just the whole day, just technology influenced all day, and it was just it was weird. I don't know. I just wanted to touch on that current thing going on with. I mean, at least creators like us, we kind of, I don't want to say depend on, and I kind of want to touch some of that too, is our how we depend on social media a lot. Like I think about it, I'm like, what? I mean, and YouTube as well. How did people? Well, of course, there was no like. Well, there was content creators before YouTube and Instagram and Facebook, but I just wonder how they did it, and what kind of forums that they use to catapult what they were doing in that time.
It's interesting because it's like, well, how do you get visibility? But at the same time, we're in a place where there's so much saturation. And like, actually, I really appreciate all the things you said about my work, because I realized that like I'm still so tiny, and it's hard to know. It's like, is this just batshit crazy? Like, what am I doing? But I've
It
never
is,
felt so.
well, it is batshit crazy, but we love it.
Thank you. Yeah, I've never felt so intensely driven towards something that overwhelmed me so much. Like it's a whole new world for me. But like tracking back to like the social medias, it's like a really important tool, but it's also such a tricky tool because there's so much out there. And it's also tricky in the sense of people are like, in order to get nearer to someone's top of someone's feed, you need to post like 3 or 4 times a day, which personally I find it becomes a bit much. Like
I get tired.
and
Yeah.
yeah, it's just it's a tricky set of tools. And like I definitely, when you're talking about like goals, which is maybe not for the next couple months, but I've just like I felt like so stressed by the fact that I'm like, I can't produce that quickly, and I
Yeah.
also don't want to compromise the quality of what I'm making. um and it also, like, I actually think like it's not great for me personally, like not great for my mental health to be like chasing down pay attention to me. So yeah, like I realized like, okay, like slow and steady, like build good product. Hopefully when people see my page, the quality's there versus a lot of content being there.
Quality versus
And
quantity.
totally, and it definitely means that like I'm not going to show up as high. So anybody who follows, subscribes, just hit the little bell so that when whatever batshit crazy thing I make happens, you can be like, oh, there's Laurn Dakat. What have you done lately?
Yeah, exactly. Well, a good way to cure that is to I don't know, maybe hit the notification button on Instagram, or hit the notification button on YouTube to make
That's
sure
what the bell's called.
to make sure that you're getting that.
Mhm.
But yeah, I tend to think about that all the time, but
Mhm.
I mean, at least the podcasting format came well before YouTube and all these other things that were created. And I think just getting into different platforms, whether it be Instagram or anything. I used to post a lot, like what you said, like 3-4 times a
Mm.
day, throughout the day. But it gets exhausting. Like
Yeah.
if you really want to create content that is not just a copy and paste, it's not just a I was just talking to somebody about this too, about reposting like you know like Channel 7 type stuff, or if there's other bigger videos or content creators, you're just reposting because maybe you like it, which is fine,
Mhm.
but also you're using that to get into the algorithm, and like I see that, and okay, like I get it. You want to post things and all that stuff, but at the end of the day, it's not original content, and that's that. I mean, that's I did it for a while, and that's the only reason why I can say it, because I've done it.
Mhm.
And the copy and paste and reposting batshit fucking crazy alien stories or stuff about psychedelics, anything like that. But there was a point to where I was like, am I just reposting shit just to repost to get on the algorithm, or is it just our original content? And
Yeah.
if it was original content, I'd probably I'd lose it. That means I would have to be, and I think about it, like all these original creators that have videos that are published daily, like fuck, they have so much time on their hands because it's a lot of work.
And they have a team. I remember there's a lot of movie shooting in Vancouver, and you see like they're set up at a house for so
Yes.
long, and it's like you find out it's like a 15-second clip that makes it into a show, and you're like,
Hmm.
why does it take so long? But like realizing like, filming is a very labor intensive process, and I do understand like what you did with multiple posting, and like I try to just be, especially like other creatives, just supportive of what they're doing, but I just realized like I felt so anxious, and I also felt like it was starting to suck the life out of me in a way that I
Yeah.
think was going to affect my creating. And I guess like my goal is that people see whoever sees my stuff makes enough traction that they're like, oh, I want to follow you, I want to engage with you, and that it's like, I mean, quality over quantity, which I feel like people also say that when they're like trying to not feel so sad about themselves,
Yeah.
but quality. And it takes time, right? Like I definitely use the tool. I definitely put my time in and support other creators, but I think it's a tricky process, and it depends what you're making, how quickly you can output, and my stuff is not fast, but I love
And
it.
and like I said before, it really shows into your work, your art. Rachel, thanks for being
Yeah.
here.
Thank you so
Um,
much.
I'm not too sure how we're gonna end this. Are we gonna do the regular music, or should we play one of your videos? But first, before you do that, please tell us to where we can follow you on Instagram, Facebook, whatever you got going on, YouTube, and
Yeah,
go
so
ahead.
yeah, my handle is at LaurnDakat, LaurnDakat. So Instagram, TikTok, and then on YouTube it's LaurnDakat, Laurn Dakat. Please, it means so much. Like comments, likes, saving, like all of that encouragement really does keep me going. It's a lot of work, and hearing that people are really enjoying my work definitely fuels me. So, and also, what's the bell called? Notification.
Notification.
That way I don't get lost in your feed.
There we
So,
go.
thank you so
I
much.
like it.
Yeah.
If you're ever lost, you can go ahead and follow her. So that was cheesy. We're gonna we're
That's what we do.
we're gonna start the outro music. Rachel, again, you can get all that, all those links that Rachel just said about her, about Laurn Dakat. All the links are gonna be down in the show description. Go ahead and follow, like, and do all that cool stuff. And I think that was it. And JR from Uncommon Place is up next. Rachel, thanks a lot again for being here, and appreciate your time.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. You're doing great work, and it's like I'm so glad to do the podcast. This first time. So
right, yeah.
Thank you.
Fuck is she wearing?
The Mindbuzz Podcast.